We're in Loveland, Colorado for the All-Star Game, the skills competition, and the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies of the ECHL. That's all next on ECHL Week. The Stanley Cup and the Kelly Cup, emblematic of hockey supremacy in the National Hockey League and the ECHL, were the main attraction for thousands of fans during the ECHL's All-Star Week festivities held at the Budweiser Event Center in Loveland, Colorado. There was a skills competition, the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, and the All-Star Game itself, and we'll look at those events later on in today's show. But what most folks who were in Loveland during the week are most likely to remember is their time looking at, touching, and or posing with two of hockey's most notable trophies. Prior to the skills competition, the line was long for those who wanted to take a look at some exhibits and displays supplied by the Hockey Hall of Fame. The Fan Fest also featured all types of memorabilia from the early years of the ECHL, back when it was called the East Coast Hockey League, as well as former players who were in attendance to sign autographs and talk about the old days. But there's no question that the big drawing card, as it is wherever it goes, was the Stanley Cup. And people waited, and waited, and waited to get close to it. And lots of fans of the Colorado Eagles, the host team for the game, probably hope that they'll get to see the Kelly Cup again in the arms of their favorite team members. But on this night, leading up to the skills competition, it was all about the history of hockey and the trophies that so many teams have spent so much time trying to win. With the history taken care of, we turn to the present and the 2013 ECHL All-Star Skills Competition. 2013 ECHL All-Star Week kicked off with the skills competition. 6 different categories designed to determine which team had the best hockey skills. First was stick handling. Mike Marcoux of Greenville had a little trouble here, but managed to go back and get through the pylons before dishing the puck off to Bakersfield's Francis Farreau. Farreau passed to Austin Fighton of Idaho and Casey Piero Zabatel of Gwinnett to complete some one-timers. Then it was Chris Francis' turn. The Las Vegas rookie took a few shots at aerial passes before putting one biscuit in the basket. Finally, the 3-on-1, Dustin Gaisley of Elmira, Mitch Wall of Utah, and CJ Stretch of Ontario scored against Colorado goalkeeper Adam Brown. The ECHL All-Stars took a 1-0 lead. Accuracy shooting was the second category, and although a few players hit the target 4 times, only Andrew Hotham of Wheeling did it in 5 attempts. That won 2 points for the ECHL All-Stars. Category number 3 was rapid fire. In the first segment here, Nathan Moon of Evansville, along with Willie Coetzee of Toledo, went up against Kyle Jones of the Eagles. They scored 3 times. But in the second round, Michael Forney and Joey Sides of Colorado went up against Philip Grubauer of Reading, and the Eagles had their way. They managed 7 goals. The team with the most total saves earns 2 goals in the total standings, and these points went to the Eagles. One of the most exciting contests was skill number 4, the fastest skater. Anything better than 14 seconds around the rink is a pretty good time. Dylan Hood of Colorado crushed that. His time of 13.455 seconds was number 1, and it won his team a point in the standings. As a bonus, there was a goaltender duel. Mike Gwinnett and the Eagles' Kyle Jones each had to skate 1 lap around the rink, going head-to-head. This wasn't on the clock. Lee managed to best Jones by a split second and earned his team a point in the standings. Another of the most notable categories, the hardest shot. Colin Bowman of Colorado cracked 100 miles per hour. Anything over 100 is quite a blow. His teammate Isaac Smeltzer, though, did even better. His shot here, well, you can see the results. It was good for winning the category. The final category of the skills competition, the breakaway relay. 5 skaters against the other team's goalie, with each individual goal scored counting toward the overall team score. Trent Davatilla started for Colorado and scored a goal. He was followed by teammate Michael Forney, who did the same thing against Reading goaltender Philip Grubauer. Going third for the Eagles was Dylan Hood. He was unsuccessful in this save. Matt Struby scored Colorado's 3rd goal against Grubauer. Colin Bowman was unsuccessful, but the Eagles still had 3 goals in 5 opportunities against the Reading goalkeeper. In round 2, it was the All-Stars' turn. Casey Piero Zabatel of Gwinnett was denied by Kyle Jones of Colorado. Second for the All-Stars, Orlando's C.J. Severin. No goal. Number 3 for the All-Stars was Nathan Moon of Evansville. He has the same result as the first 2 of his teammates. Austin Fighton of Idaho takes shot number 4 for the All-Stars. No goal. And watch Justin Malin of Stockton. He tries to bat the puck out of midair, but he swings and misses. And as a result, Colorado wins the breakaway relay and the skills competition. They're happy, made a lot of their fans happy too. Coming up next, the ECHL honors its newest Hall of Fame class.
My name's Brad Perkins. I'm from Evansville, Indiana, representing the Evansville Icemen. I am the winner of the ECHL's 25th anniversary competition. Having a great time out here in Colorado. These fans are rabid. It is loud, electric. I love this place.
From opening night until the Kelly Cup is raised, watch every game of the 2012-13 ECHL season exclusively on AmericaOneSports.com. Catch the action live or on demand. Games available on your PC, Mac, or mobile device. The biggest goals, hardest hits, and spectacular saves all season long can be found only at AmericaOneSports.com, the official broadband broadcaster to the ECHL.
Hi, my name's Cam. I'm from Fontana, California. I've been an Ontario Reign season ticket holder for the past 3 years, and I'm a proud supporter of the second best team in the league. Hopefully we'll win our first Kelly Cup this year. We got the league's best scorer in Colton Yellowhorn. Hopefully he'll be the MVP, and Berube is going to lead league in our goals against average, so go Reign. Let's get the Kelly Cup.
Welcome to the 2013 ECHL Hall of Fame Luncheon. A couple hundred folks gathered to recognize and pay tribute to the 4 honorees: Dave Kravich, Mark Magliarditti, Steve Pabst and Darren Schwartz were inducted as the 6th class of ECHL Hall of Famers. ECHL Week had a chance to talk with all of the new Hall members.
When I got the call to say that I was on the short list, I was like, okay, when am I getting the next call? To be honest, I couldn't wait. It was, like one of the other guys mentioned, it was a great way to put a cap on a successful East Coast Hockey League career, and great places to play for my post-junior hockey career. There's a lot of memories. There's a lot of great guys that I played with. Unfortunately, a couple of them have already passed on in my age group. Tom Nezel, and there's another gentleman that was out in Louisiana that passed away prematurely. So when we look back at it, I think about some of the guys that I played with, some of the great teams I was lucky to be a part of, and some of the success we had. And success in some places was an expansion team that we were just trying to make the playoffs. And in other teams, it was we were one of the top teams going into the playoffs and trying to make it to the finals. And so I look back, and it's, for me, it keeps coming back to team. And it's always been a team. It's a great honor that I'm fortunate to be in the Hall of Fame. However, the thought that sticks in my head is the teamwork and the team effort and the guys around you, the guys in the dressing room, and there's way too many players to mention of who comes back to mind. I look at it in my professional career. I do a lot of estate and legacy planning with clients, and now I look back at my career and say, I left a legacy. It's something that will last long in years to come, as long as they have the East Coast Hockey League and some of the other Hall of Fames that I've been fortunate to be inducted into. I left a mark in cities with I would put it, my God-given talent that can live long beyond my career, and it's a great honor to have that as a fortunate thing in my past hockey career.
Can you have imagined yourself doing anything else in your early adult life than having played professional hockey?
I could imagine doing different things, but I definitely don't see how it would fit now looking back. Hockey was me. From the first time that I realized how challenging a sport hockey was, I became passionate about it, and it stuck with me. To this day, even the years that I've coached minor hockey teams, AAA level, when I smell the ice, when the lights are still down, I still get the same chills down my spine. I lived for the game, and I put all my heart and soul into the game when I was here playing. And when I walked away, I knew it was complete.
Getting this honor was, not that we don't think about those memories all the time, but it was a really good chance. I forget who it was that mentioned it, to really go back and think when you're grabbing old memorabilia and old articles that were in newspapers in different cities that you lived in and played in. That's really what it's all about and what makes it special. And for me to have a bunch of family here that was along for those rides. We have stories all the time of this dinner in Florida and that dinner in Lafayette, and those are really the memories that stand out, is to have family and past teammates that you've enjoyed your whole career with, and that's definitely was a big part of receiving this honor for me, and really having a chance to reflect on all that. When I first got the call, it was not something that was on my radar at all. You don't really play to make it to the Hall of Fame or dream to be in the Hall of Fame. You dream to win championships and play in the NHL, but it was kind of an eye-opening honor for me, because I was able to look back and I hadn't played in the NHL, but to know that all the years of hard work and dedication amounted to something, and something as great as being inducted into a Hall of Fame, it was definitely special. It was a great honor. Being part of the Florida Everblades organization as a startup organization, and then Vegas, same scenario in 2003 as a startup organization. Those 2 years, the first year at each of those cities, probably not one memory from those years, but those years as a whole, being part of putting an organization on the map, or helping be part of that organization, getting involved with the communities. I probably think of those 2 years the most when I reflect back on my years in the ECHL. So it's hard not to think about those years and how special they were.
So you're blazing a trail, and today when you look, especially last year when Las Vegas and Florida played each other for the championship, you must have felt pleased and proud about that.
That was definitely interesting. I had a lot of people, past teammates and everything, like who you're rooting for, and living in Vegas and being there at the games in Vegas and running into some Florida Everblades fans and management. It was tough because obviously I wanted success for both of them. Two big parts of my career, both of those organizations, but it's hard not to, I really was in a no-lose situation because playing for both of them, one of them was going to end up a champion, and it was nice to see Florida. They had been there twice before. They deserved it, and I know Craig Brush, the job he's done down there, he definitely deserved it, so I was very happy for them and their organization.
You're only the second player to be inducted in the developmental category. Does that mean anything in particular to you as far as knowing that what strides you made during the course of your career?
Well, I think it shows that it's possible for players that start at this level that they can make it to the NHL, and to go in with a player that played with Ola Kolzig, who had an outstanding NHL career in the long term, and it just shows to these players that it's not a bad thing to start at this level. It's actually a good thing, and especially for me, it was a starting stone for me, like stepping stone, because I knew I wasn't ready for pro hockey at the level I needed to be at, and just had to work my way up.
In your acceptance speech, you mentioned about John Brophy motivating you, I suppose, to say you could play in the NHL. Give me another colorful story about Coach Brophy.
Well, I was just talking with Pat Kelly about it. I said, I think he's the only coach I've seen get thrown out of the game by the ref for yelling at our own player. And it happened on the ice. It was my partner. He's going back, and he's trying to make a play behind the net, and somehow he fired it right in the far corner of our net, scored on our own net. And he started yelling at him, and the ref thought he was yelling at him and threw him out, and that was it. And, he gets a standing ovation leaving the ice. So that's probably one of the most interesting stories that I have with John Brophy that's, within good taste. So.
He was certainly a colorful and memorable character in hockey. I suppose as you learn from probably all the coaches you played for as a player, I also would assume that you probably don't carry too many of his histrionics with you as far as your coaching strategy is concerned.
I think I got all that out in my first couple of years. But every coach you come across has qualities that you admire and you want to take away and implement yourself, and what you liked, what you didn't like. And I can tell you with John Brophy, it was about making the player understand what it was to come to the rink every day. And I think that was the most valuable lesson that I took for him, that you have to show up every day, you have to work every day. There's no days off in pro hockey, and that's one of the things. The other thing with Bro, which was he carried a lot of respect for the player and didn't expect him to do things that weren't within his capabilities. If you did something well that was a contributing factor to the team, he expected you to bring that every day to the rink. So if you're a hitter, expect you to play physical. If you're a fighter, I expect you to fight. And you're a goal scorer, you expect you to produce and put points up and help our team win. So no secret about it, but as far as that, is just show up and bring your best abilities to your team every day.
It was a real surprise. I didn't understand what was going on. Joey Ernst had phoned and said that, and when I got the call back from Pat, it was an honor. Like, it was an honor when Joey phoned, but then when Pat phoned and confirmed it, it really put an icing on my career, because I did well until you hear something like this, and then you really know you did something to make an impact on some people. All the fans that I've met and all the players I've played with, and just starting at the league with 5 teams and ending and seeing where it is today, and I saw a lot of those teams except for the West, the East. I've played against them all, and it's amazing how this league can keep going like that. And my biggest memory is of all the fans that that I've touched, and the kids that when I played, I still get letters from kids that that are 20, 25 years old now that still send emails to me that thanking me for everything that I did for them. And you can't ask for anything better than that. I would never give this up for anything in the world. It's it's just an honor to play hockey, and to get to be a professional is even better. But just going to the rink and seeing your friends and meeting people all the time is what I like the best.
Coming up next, the 2013 ECHL All-Star Game.
I am Harrison Coffey, and I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I'm a huge Solo Bear fan from the NEHL.
Yeah, I'm Dwayne Coffey from Orlando, Florida, and Solar Bears rock. ECHL rocks. This is a great event. We love it. Go Solar Bears!
So many reasons to be a fan, so many ways to show it. Customize your own at shop.nhl.com.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids have witnessed bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
Hi, my name is Garrett Harstead, and I'm in Loveland, Colorado, and I love the Colorado Eagles and the ECHL Week.
The final event of All-Star Week was the 2013 All-Star Game, pitting the host Colorado Eagles against stars from the ECHL's 22 other teams. Here to describe all the game action and highlights is Eagles broadcaster Kevin McGrew.
ECHL All-Stars taking to the ice, being introduced one by one here at the Budweiser Event Center as we welcome you inside the BEC for a very special night, a very special broadcast. It's the 2013 ECHL All-Star Game, presented by University of Colorado Health, as Colorado will take on the league's best here tonight. Coatsy up the right wing side will drop it off for Zabatel. Worked free and then sent right back down in deep. Collected behind the cage, fed in front, shot still loose on the doorstep, put back, saved by Brown, scores! Just got bumped in on the third whack as 3 different All-Stars crash in on the front porch. One of them able to bang that past Adam Brown, who was trying to seal off the post. And that was about the third whack. It went right between his legs. There for C.J. Severin, turned away by Adam Brown. Now Colorado the other direction in transition. Bowman in front. Howe shot hits the post. Beautiful setup. Stolen away. Howe with it between the hash marks. Backhand shot. Hit a body. Never got off. Reload shot. Scores! A.J. Howe. Roofs it past Philip Grubauer on a secondary chance. And Colorado has tied this game at 1. Moon, who won a championship, the Bossier Shreveport Mudbugs, brought back the other direction. Damatilla, drop pass between his legs, goes near side, set back, Hood, shot, just goes wide, put back, what a save by Grubauer. Down in the splits, throws up the glove, takes it away, and the skill is on display, and the fans are appreciative. We're tied at 1. Beatty into the 3-on-1. Bring up the right wing side, Haddon with it, darts down, in front, backdoor feed, Damatilla again, in front, shot, scores! Joey Sides! A backhand shot goes upstairs, and a power play goal gives the Eagles their first lead of the game. Stolen free, Haddon top of the near side circle, one time for Bowman, had his stick lifted, and another 2-on-1 Bruin. Up the right wing wall, Chris Francis into the offensive zone, fires, scores! Chris Francis, a outstanding centerman from the Las Vegas Wranglers, their leading scorer. 15 goals on the year, and he picks up goal number 2 for the ECHL All-Stars and ties this thing up at 2. All-Stars will bring it back in the offensive zone. Sent in front, low slot, shot, scores! William Coatsy from the Toledo Walleye, able to find that biscuit between the hash marks, and he beats Adam Brown upstairs. Coatsy had spent part of 4 seasons in the American Hockey League, actually born in Johannesburg, South Africa, having an outstanding season with Toledo. Excited to see the footage of that after this All-Star game is concluded. Severn able to free it up for Wall. Far side corner, put back, scores. Taylor Ellington of the Cincinnati Cyclones finds the rebound on the doorstep, pops it home. And the second round draft choice of the Vancouver Canucks picks up the tally to give the All-Stars their biggest lead of the night. 4-2. The ECHL All-Stars on top. But boy, how about that? That's what you call stick handling in a phone booth right there. Now the other direction, transition. Hotham, a shot, scores. Andrew Hotham's second goal of the night, and it's 5-2 in favor of the ECHL All-Stars here late in the second period. Tries to float it ahead. That one is chopped out of midair, brought back into the zone. 15 seconds left. Wall, left wing side, in front, shot, hits off the crossbar, loose, put back, scores. C.J. Severin able to find that loose biscuit. Kyle Jones was looking up in the air, looking down at his feet. By the time he saw it, it was being shoved in the back of the net. 6-2 All-Stars. Eagles bring it back in. 40 drive, sends it sizzling wide to the wide side post. Beatty snaps it down in front. 40 shot. Scores! Michael 40 puts the Eagles back on the board, chopping it out of midair. 6-3 All-Stars. Beasley cutting in. Quick shot. That'll whip wide. Loose on the doorstep. Poked at by Jones. Backdoor look shot. Scores. And Dustin Gaisley with 18.9 seconds remaining, able to clean up that biscuit on the doorstep, slam it home. Yeah, the Eagles had a lot of chances here tonight. It was a freewheeling kind of game, very offensive-minded, but that doesn't mean you didn't see a lot of great saves. Great response by this fan base, by this community, as they come out and support the Eagles, support the ECHL, really just showing how passionate they are about the sport of hockey. As you saw that line stretch just to get a glimpse of the Stanley Cup, get your picture taken with it yesterday, the Kelly Cup. I mean, it would have been 2 city blocks if you were outside, and people waited in line because that's a piece of hockey lore. And that just shows how much people care about this sport and this game, and they were treated to an outstanding week of events here with this 2013 ECHL All-Star Week.
It's special. I mean, another honor. Just being here was enough for me, but being able to get the MVP was definitely a nice bonus.
With the skills competition, the Hall of Fame induction, and the All-Star game, the ECHL's 2013 All-Star Week was a big hit. Here are some of the moments which made it memorable.
JD Nolte. I'm from Ohio County, Kentucky. I support Evansville Icemen. Go ECHL.